say as soon as we're born, our path begins. I can make people go. We're never ready.
Can't trust nobody.
Nothing can prepare us.
Do something!
Put the gun down.
When one thing dies, something new is born.
Nuck's time might finally be running out, and episode 12 of The Chi Season 7 is setting up one of the most explosive endings we've ever seen. All season long, we've been watching the tension rise, enemies form in the shadows, and old grudges resurface. Now everyone wants Nuck gone, and the question is no longer if he's going to die. But who's going to pull the trigger? Will it be Tiff, who's been quietly carrying her pain? Alicia, who's one step away from completely snapping? Or maybe Reg, who's been plotting his way back to the top? And even bigger, if Nuck really goes down, who's going to step up as the next main villain? Let's break it all down. Nuck has been skating on thin ice for a long time, and now all of those moves he's made in the past are starting to close in on him. Episode 11 already set the stage by showing how his enemies are lining up, and how even the people closest to him are starting to question their loyalty. From the outside, Nuck might look like he's in control, but the cracks in his empire are clear. Everyone around him is angry, scared, or simply waiting for the right moment to strike. One of the biggest threats to Nuck right now is Alicia. Ever since Bari revealed that Nuck was the one who killed Rob, Alicia has been a ticking time bomb. She's always hated Nuck, but this new piece of information just pushed her past the edge. Alicia isn't the type to wait or play games when it comes to revenge. She's been holding herself together, but you can tell she's ready to explode, and the second she gets an opening, she's going for blood. If Nuck doesn't see her coming, she could easily be the one to end it all in a single shot. But Alicia isn't acting alone in this. She's smart, and she knows that just rushing in won't be enough. That's why she's been pulling Tiff closer. This relationship between Alicia and Tiff is dangerous for Nuck because both women have reasons to hate him. Alicia's hatred is fueled by Rob's death, while Tiff is carrying a mix of grief and guilt that's just as deadly. Tiff might not want to admit it yet, but she's slowly realizing that Nuck is the reason her entire life has been turned upside down. He's the one who killed the man she loved, the father of her child, and the person she thought she could build a future with. That pain is going to lead her somewhere dark, and Alicia knows it. This is where it gets messy because Tiff's feelings for Nuck are complicated. He's been kind to her in ways that nobody else has, making her feel safe when everything else in her life was falling apart. But that kindness doesn't erase the truth. Tiff has been warned over and over that Nuck was dangerous, and now she's about to learn that Alicia was right all along. The writers have been building this slow burn for weeks, making us watch as Tiff gets closer to Nuck, only for the entire thing to blow up in her face. That betrayal is the kind of thing that changes people, and if Tiff is the one to pull the trigger, it's going to be one of the heaviest moments the show has ever delivered. But Nuck has more enemies than just Alicia and Tiff. Let's not forget about Reg. He's been waiting for his chance to take back 63rd and settle the score. The last time he and Nuck faced off, it was clear that there was no room for both of them to survive. Reg is calculating, and he's been sitting back, letting everyone else make their moves while he plans his own. If Alicia or Tiff get close to taking Nuck out, Reg might see it as the perfect opportunity to swoop in, eliminate Nuck himself, and take control of everything. He wants the power, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty to get it. And then there's Bari, Nuck's most loyal soldier, or at least he used to be. Bari has been through hell because of Nuck, and you can tell that loyalty is starting to fade. He's tired of the chaos, tired of living in fear, and tired of cleaning up Nuck's messes. Bari might not want to betray Nuck, but sometimes survival forces you to make the hardest choices. If Alicia puts pressure on him, or if he feels like his life is in danger, he could be the one to turn on Nuck when it matters most. The beauty of this setup is that literally everyone has a motive. Episode 12 is going to be full of tension because at any moment, Nuck's enemies could make their move. He's surrounded, even if he doesn't realize it yet. And the worst part for him? He's burned so many bridges that there's no one left to truly trust. With everyone's cards on the table, episode 12 is going to push every single character to make a choice, and those choices are going to decide whether Nuck lives or dies. At this point, Alicia is the most dangerous player because she's fully committed. She's already grieving Rob's death, and we know how ruthless she can get when she's fueled by emotion. When Alicia decides someone has to go, she doesn't wait around. She acts. And now, with the confirmation that Nuck is the one responsible, she's moving differently. She's sharper, colder, and focused on one thing: taking him out. But Alicia isn't going to just run up on Nuck without a plan. She knows that he's powerful, he's surrounded by people, and if she makes the wrong move, she'll be the one lying in a casket. That's why she's going to pull Tiff deeper into her orbit. Alicia understands that Tiff is a wild card, but she also knows that Tiff is the key to getting close enough to Nuck to finish the job. Tiff has access to him in ways no one else does, and Alicia will use that to her advantage. The only question is whether Tiff is ready to cross that line. This is where the emotional side of the story really kicks in. Tiff's connection to Nuck is complicated, and the writers have done a good job showing how close they've gotten. He's been sweet to her, building the crib for her baby, being present when she needed someone, and giving her a sense of security that she hasn't had in a long time. But that bond is built on lies, and once she finds out the truth about Rob's death, all of that is going to shatter. That betrayal is going to hurt, and hurt people make dangerous choices. If Tiff is the one who decides to pull the trigger, it's going to be about more than revenge. It's going to be about finally taking control of her life again. While Alicia and Tiff are making moves, Reg is lurking in the background, ready to strike. He's been playing the long game ever since Nuck pushed him out, and episode 12 is where all of that planning could finally pay off. Reg doesn't just want revenge. He wants to reclaim 63rd and step back into the position of power he used to have. He knows that as long as Nuck is alive, that's not going to happen. Reg is smart enough to wait for the perfect moment, and he's not going to hesitate when it comes. He's been underestimated before, but this time, he's going to make sure he finishes the job. The real question is how all of these storylines will collide. Alicia wants Nuck dead for what he did to Rob. Tiff will want him dead when she learns the truth. Reg wants him gone so he can take control. And Bari? Well, Bari is the wild card no one sees coming. He's been loyal for so long, but that loyalty has been tested over and over again. Bari is tired of the life he's living, and if he sees an opening to walk away from all the chaos, he might take it, even if it means betraying Nuck. Remember that conversation Bari had at the block party? It was clear he wanted out. If Alicia corners him with a choice, either kill Nuck or be killed himself, Bari might decide that the only way to be free is to end Nuck's reign once and for all. But let's not act like Nuck is just going to sit back and wait to die. He's not stupid. He can feel the walls closing in, and episode 12 is going to show just how dangerous he can be when he's cornered. Nuck is a survivor, and when survivors feel trapped, they strike first. If Alicia or Tiff makes the wrong move, he won't hesitate to take them out. And that's what makes the finale so suspenseful. Anyone could die. Alicia has been reckless before, and she could easily underestimate Nuck's ability to fight back. Tiff could let her emotions get the best of her and make a mistake. Even Reg could walk into a trap if he's not careful. Another thing to watch for is who might step into Nuck's shoes if he's taken out. This power vacuum is going to be dangerous, and the person who fills it will likely become the show's new main villain. Reg is the most obvious choice, but he's not the only one. Alicia is strong and strategic enough to take over, and if Tiff inherits Alicia's bag and all that money, she could transform into a completely different person. That's the part of the story that's so exciting. Nuck's death isn't just about revenge. It's going to completely shift the balance of power in the Chi. And that's why episode 12 feels so heavy. Every decision, every secret, and every grudge is about to come crashing down all at once. The finale isn't just going to answer the question of who kills Nuck. It's going to show us who these characters really are when everything is on the line. Will Alicia finally get the revenge she's been craving? Will Tiff take matters into her own hands and become the person no one saw coming? Will Reg make his big move and reclaim his empire? Or will Bari, the quiet soldier, be the one who shocks us all? As we dive deeper into episode 12, the tension surrounding Nuck is going to reach its absolute peak. At this stage, everyone is making their final moves, and Nuck is beginning to realize that he's running out of allies and options. He's built his entire empire on fear and manipulation, but the problem with fear is that it only works as long as people believe you're untouchable. Now, for the first time, people are starting to see cracks in his armor. And once that happens, it's only a matter of time before someone makes a move to take him out. The first person Nuck needs to worry about is Alicia. She's been quietly building her own little army, and her anger has only been growing since she found out what Nuck did to Rob. Alicia has always been one of the most strategic players on the board, and episode 12 is where we're going to see her put all the pieces together. She knows Nuck is dangerous, so she's not just going to run in blindly. She's going to strike when he least expects it. That's why she's been grooming Tiff for this exact moment. Alicia understands that Tiff is close enough to Nuck to get access, and once the truth comes out, she's counting on Tiff's pain to push her over the edge. But Tiff's journey isn't as straightforward as Alicia wants it to be. There's a part of Tiff that still cares for Nuck, and the writers have made sure to show us that. He's been there for her in ways no one else has, and she can't just ignore the bond they've built. That internal conflict is what makes her so dangerous, because once she makes up her mind, there's no turning back. When Tiff finally realizes the full extent of Nuck's betrayal, that emotional break is going to change everything. And the scary part? Tiff could easily decide that the only way to take back her life is to end his. Meanwhile, Reg is quietly watching all of this unfold, waiting for his chance to step in. He knows that Alicia and Tiff have their own plans, but Reg has been in this game long enough to understand timing. If he moves too early, he risks everything. But if he waits for just the right moment, when Nuck is distracted, weakened, or already under attack, he could swoop in, take him out, and walk away as the new leader of 63rd. Reg isn't sentimental, and he's not the type to hesitate when an opportunity like this presents itself. The finale is his shot to take back the power he lost, and he's not going to waste it. Then there's Bari, the quiet storm no one is paying enough attention to. Bari has been one of Nuck's most loyal soldiers, but his loyalty has cost him more than anyone realizes. He's tired of the violence, tired of being dragged into situations he doesn't want to be in, and tired of constantly cleaning up Nuck's messes. Bari's conversation at the block party made it clear. He wants out of the game. The problem is there's no easy way out. If Alicia corners him with an ultimatum, either kill Nuck or face the consequences, Bari might decide to take the shot himself. And honestly, he might be the most believable choice. No one would see it coming, and it would be the perfect way for Bari to finally cut ties with Nuck once and for all. While all of this is happening, Nuck is starting to feel the pressure. He knows people are coming for him, but he doesn't know when or from which direction. That paranoia is going to make him even more dangerous. When Nuck feels cornered, he lashes out, and episode 12 is going to show just how far he's willing to go to protect himself. He's already proven that he's capable of killing anyone who gets in his way, and now, with his back against the wall, he might decide to strike first. If Alicia, Tiff, or Reg makes even the smallest mistake, Nuck could easily flip the script and take them out instead. What makes the finale so intense is that no one is truly safe. Alicia has been reckless before, and if she pushes too hard, she could be the one who ends up dead. Tiff is walking a dangerous line with her emotions, and if she hesitates at the wrong moment, Nuck won't think twice about pulling the trigger. Even Reg, who's been so careful up to this point, could get caught up in the chaos. And Bari? If he does decide to turn on Nuck, he's going to have to live with the consequences, because killing a man like Nuck isn't something you just walk away from. At the same time, we have to think about what happens after Nuck is gone. His death would leave a huge power vacuum in 63rd, and someone is going to have to fill it. Reg is the obvious choice. He's been in that position before, and he knows how to run things. But Alicia is just as capable, and she's got the money and connections to make it happen. Tiff is another wild card. If she inherits Alicia's bag and all the resources that come with it, we could see a completely different side of her emerge. She's been underestimated before, but pain changes people, and Tiff could easily transform into someone cold, strategic, and powerful enough to run the streets. This is why episode 12 feels like such a turning point. It's not just about who kills Nuck, it's about what that moment sets into motion. The finale is going to redefine the power structure in the Chi, and the choices these characters make are going to shape the entire future of the show. Who's going to rise? Who's going to fall? And who's going to pay the ultimate price? Everything we've seen in episode 12 is building up to one thing: the moment someone finally steps up and takes Nuck out. He's surrounded by enemies, but the crazy part is he doesn't even know exactly where the danger is coming from. That's what makes this finale so unpredictable. Every character has a motive, and every character is desperate in their own way. When desperation and revenge mix, anyone can become a killer. Let's start with Alicia. She's the one with the most fire in her heart. She's been holding on to the knowledge of Rob's death like a weapon, and we know she's capable of going to extreme lengths when it comes to revenge. Alicia has been fearless all season, walking into danger without blinking, and if she sees her opening, she won't hesitate to take the shot. But that fearlessness is also what makes her vulnerable. Alicia has been reckless before, and if she rushes in too fast, she could be the one to fall. Remember, Nuck isn't easy to kill. He's a survivor, and he'll fight to the last breath. Alicia's passion could be her strength, or the reason she ends up on the ground instead of Nuck. Tiff, on the other hand, has been quietly simmering all season. She's been through so much heartbreak, and her relationship with Nuck is complicated. He's shown her kindness, even tenderness, but the truth about what he did to Rob is going to flip her entire world upside down. That kind of betrayal doesn't just hurt, it changes you. Tiff is already in a fragile state, and Alicia knows how to push her in the direction she wants. If Tiff learns the truth at the right moment, she might snap. And if she's the one to pull the trigger, it would be one of the most powerful moments in the Chi's history. Imagine Tiff standing over the man who destroyed her life, realizing that this is her chance to take back her power. That would be the kind of scene fans would talk about for years. Reg, though, might be the most dangerous one of all because he's been patient. He's not acting out of raw emotion. He's acting out of strategy. Reg wants his empire back, and Nuck is the one thing standing in his way. He's already been humiliated once, pushed out of the life he built, and he's not going to let that happen again. If Reg sees an opening, he'll take it without hesitation. And unlike Alicia or Tiff, he won't be satisfied with just revenge. He wants power. Killing Nuck would mean reclaiming everything he's lost, and he's willing to get blood on his hands to make that happen. And then we have Bari. Everyone has been sleeping on Bari, but he might be the one to shock us all. He's been loyal to Nuck for so long, but that loyalty has cost him everything. His peace, his freedom, and maybe even his future. Bari is tired of being dragged down by Nuck's chaos, and episode 12 could be the moment where he finally decides he's had enough. If Alicia pressures him, or if he simply decides he wants out of the game for good, Bari could be the one to put Nuck down. It would be the ultimate betrayal, and no one would see it coming. What makes this finale so intense is that Nuck isn't going down without a fight. He's backed into a corner, and when a man like Nuck feels cornered, he becomes even more dangerous. He could easily strike first, taking out Alicia, Tiff, or even Bari before they get the chance to make their move. The possibility of multiple deaths is real, and we can't ignore the fact that Alicia has been throwing herself into danger all season long. She could just as easily be killed by Nuck as be the one to kill him. And if Alicia dies, that would change everything for Tiff. She would inherit the bag, the money, and the pressure to take revenge for the woman who tried to protect her. That kind of pain could transform Tiff into someone unrecognizable, a new queen pin ready to run the streets. Reg also has to be careful. He's smart, but if he miscalculates and walks into the wrong situation, Nuck could eliminate him before he ever gets the chance to make his big move. The finale is going to be chaotic, and the lines between friend and enemy are going to blur in a way we haven't seen before. The only thing we know for sure is that not everyone is making it out alive. And then comes the big question: who takes over once Nuck is gone? If it's Reg, we'll see a return to the old days, with him running 63rd like he never left. If it's Alicia, we'll see a more calculated, strategic kind of leadership. Someone who's just as ruthless as Nuck, but smarter about it. And if it's Tiff? Well, that would be the biggest twist of all. Tiff has been underestimated her entire life, but if she inherits Alicia's money and power, she could evolve into the type of cold, powerful leader no one ever saw coming. That's what makes this finale so exciting. The death of Nuck isn't just an ending, it's the beginning of a completely new chapter. So, who do you think is going to kill Nuck? Is it going to be Alicia, driven by rage? Tiff, heartbroken and betrayed? Reg, ready to take back what's his? Or Bari, finally cutting ties with the man who's been holding him back? Drop your predictions in the comments, because episode 12 is about to change the Chi forever.